Welcome to the Marketing Revolution podcast. This is the underground movement of savage marketers from all over the world. We are not Fortune 500 companies. We are real entrepreneurs with real businesses that have one major thing in mind: to set goals and devour them daily. Because we understand that everyone wants to eat, but only savage marketers are willing to do the hunt. Now let's get this revolution started. Hey, what's up, everybody? John Hiley here with the Marketing Revolution podcast and the Marketing Savage Facebook group. I want to come to you guys today and talk about something tactical, okay? Because we recently, we definitely, our company gets a lot of clients who come to us, and, of course, one of the very first things that they want, because they kind of understand what we do, but not 100%, they typically come to me and they say, hey, man, I need some marketing, right? I need some marketing. So one of the first things that we do, we grab all of their links, we take a look, we do some research on their business, and we pretty much find everything that's broken inside of their business. So we recently had a client who, in fact, was doing really well on all fronts. In fact, everything from all of his social medias were pretty much on point. I mean, we had some small critiques here and there, but very little. And I'm going to tell you, this is rare that you find somebody that actually has like their shit dialed in and is very well put together. But what we found internally when we started digging, right? So that was kind of like the face of the business, the facade, right? When we started digging a little bit deeper internally into the business, we quickly realized that everything was everywhere. And what I mean, they were shooting emails out of one system. They were not properly collecting or organizing the data that was coming in or their client list. Everything on the back end of their business was completely disconnected. It was fragmented and was broken into, I'd probably have to say 5-6 different systems. So although from the outside they were doing really well, but they were working really fucking hard to get the type of results that they were getting because they simply did not have a back-end management system that was working internally inside of their business to not only collect data, but to organize it in a way that's very useful. So, although from the outside looking in, we dug in, the marketing was on point, it was pretty good, we were able to give some suggestions there and help out there. Our entire job was to take this individual's business and move it on one platform where we could actually see and collect all the data. And I'm going to tell you why that's important. Well, number one, I mean, if you got everything scattered everywhere, it's really hard to manage, like who's coming in here. Okay, we got a funnel over here on ClickFunnels. We got a website over here on WordPress. We got another subscription area over here on Thinkific. We're doing a little bit of work over here in MailChimp as well. So all of these pieces being completely disconnected, it's very hard to actually see the real data. And the real data are things like this, like how many people are coming and visiting your online, your business online. Okay, so how many people are coming to visit? Well, what's your conversion rate? How does that look? Well, we don't know because our invoicing system is disconnected from everything else. So it was very hard to get a clear picture of this individual's business. And might I tell you, this is a multi-million-dollar business. A multi-million-dollar business, and they really didn't have a clear picture of how many people were coming through their online, whether it was a lead magnet or whether it was a website or if it was a funnel. They didn't have an idea of how many of them were converting, like what the conversion rate was. So because of that, they had no real data to make changes. Although they looked very good from the outside, when you actually dug into their business, they just didn't have the systems organized to not only collect that data, but also to give a very good client experience. So part of having everything under one roof, and that's what we do as a company, we basically took everything that he had and we put it under one roof. meaning that there's one piece of software that we build out for this entire thing, and this piece of software covers everything, every aspect of the business. Now at this point, we start controlling things. We start understanding where people are coming in, and then we start understanding like how we're going to tweak the client experience, right? So if they come in through this specific portal inside of this same system, we're going to give them, these emails, or we're going to go ahead and put them in this list, and we're going to talk to them in this way. So a lot of people have businesses that aren't really holding a conversation with their client and customer. And I'm here to tell you now, it is a little bit, it takes, depending on how far your business has deviated from this type of thinking, creating systems inside of your business. It can take anywhere from 3 to 6 months to get all of this dialed in. But what happens, my friends, and I'm going to tell you this because I know by experience, many of you guys know that I've built a lot of multi-million-dollar businesses, and we start them now with this process in mind. We want to know, we want to understand, we want to be able to collect all the data, and we also want to be able to retarget our clients and customers based on what they purchased. Are we going to be able to, if they purchased one of our products, are we going to upsell them like a different product? There's all of this data that gets left behind if our systems are unorganized. So as a marketer, sometimes my job isn't just the marketing. It isn't to look at this guy, like what this guy or what this gal is doing, and giving them marketing suggestions, although we do that with our clients. Some of it is just building a machine for them. And how many of you guys know that you should be doing this? I guarantee you, if you're a business owner and you have not built a really good system that holds something of a conversation with your client, meaning that they get a unique individual experience when they touch your business, and you're going to be able to hold a conversation. Not only that, retain them because you're in front of them all the time, right? So I know a lot of you guys probably feel like that's in my opinion is probably some of the worst entrepreneur guilt that there is. And the second thing is that once you actually set this up, it pretty much runs on autopilot. Like all the work is done on the front end, and then after that, it just takes a little bit of maintenance to keep it going. I do believe that this is a huge tactical mistake. And whether you're using these automated systems to produce reviews on Google, whether you're using these automated systems to upsell your clients to new products, if you're just using these systems to upload and create Facebook lists that advertise to your clients, or if you're just simply using this system, if you've got a business and at one point in the year you want to run a sale and you want to get people to come through your doors and you want to make money by clicking a couple buttons, that is a compelling enough reason for any entrepreneur to really understand that that's going to be the meat and potatoes. So what I want you guys to visualize this is like your back end system is like all the components in a car, right? So you're driving this car, you're able to sit in the car, you get in, you grab the steering wheel, you grab the gear shifter, you're able to drive down the road, you're able to listen to the radio, so you're the driver in the car. But all the components that are actually doing the work are hidden under the hood. They're underneath the car, they're underneath the frame, they're the wheels, the brakes, like all the stuff that you don't see is actually allowing that vehicle to function and move you safely to your destination. Well, inside of your business, your systems, your internal systems are exactly the same. So although you sit in the driver's seat eventually, once that thing's built, and you're able to navigate and use your business in a way that's very profitable because you can clearly see where you're going, you know what the destination is, and you know how to use that car, you know how to drive that car. But all the little cogs, all the little components, all the gears, the transmission, and all that stuff are working seamlessly inside of your vehicle to do the heavy lifting, to do the work. Well, most entrepreneurs find themselves as an actual cog in the motor, right? So they're actually in there, doing the heavy lifting. They're in there as part of the machine. And when they're stuck in there as part of the machine, inside of the car, inside of the motor, they can't even see where the fuck they're going. In fact, who's even driving the car? Like, who is even driving the car if we can't see where we're going? So super important to get this stuff dialed in. And it doesn't matter if you use me or not. I mean, we got clients that are, we don't really have a problem getting business or clients or anything like that. We do good enough work where just word of mouth referrals are normally what I'm looking for. But even if you're not using us, I mean, you've got to get this stuff. You've got to get a client management system in place, and you've got to be able to get and receive and see this data. So that way you can step in and you can drive your business to the next level. And you can do it without all the issues and the problems of not even being able to see the road because you're stuck in the motor and you're under the hood and you're doing all this heavy lifting. And you want to be able to get to your destination as seamless as possible. So put the work in up front. I mean, I've told you guys about this before. This is what I'm about. I want the work to be done. I want all my work to be front loaded, right? So I want to do a lot of work up front. Like I want to work really hard up front, but then I want to be able to get off the treadmill at some point and let the systems run itself. So anyhow, y'all, that's my piece of advice for you as far as a tactical strategy podcast today is just make sure you're doing or you're hiring somebody or somehow you are getting these underlying issues under control and you're getting into one cohesive system that'll work for you. So anyhow, y'all, I appreciate you. And as usual, we'll see you on the next one.